Hey guys, I'm back. It's a beautiful day out here. Had to get outside and do video today. And today's video is going to be kind of answering a challenge. Not so much challenge. I was nominated by a great guy, great YouTuber, has a great channel, Patty's Potato Peelers. I've mentioned him a few times. I really like the stuff he puts out. Seriously, down to earth, awesome guy. Fantastic, super cool accent. Wish I had one. He's Irish. He's actually like Irish in Ireland. Just a great, nice, mellow, easygoing guy. Very unique little channel. I really think you should check it out if you haven't already. You'd really like it. I'm going to put a link to his channel in the video description. Anyway, I really enjoy watching his stuff. He tagged me and a couple other YouTubers. The challenge, for lack of a better word, is show the knife that got you into knife collecting. So it's taken me about a week to get this together. I actually had to go back and watch another video of mine where I talked about what got me into knife collecting and starting a YouTube channel. I didn't talk about this specific knife, though. I just sort of talked about the process. I didn't highlight any one knife, so this is a chance for me to do that. Also in the video description, I'll put a link to that video so you can check that out if you want to. It's an earlier video. The editing kind of sucks, but you know, you can check it out. But I'm going to talk about there's a couple knives. There's not just one. There's two actually that really led me into, that got me hooked on collecting and led me down that rabbit hole. And those of you who are into the knife collecting know the rabbit hole is deep. Like it goes and goes and goes. But you know, my collection today, I'm proud of it, and I know a lot of you want me to do a full collection video. I'm going to. It's not a. I don't know how to describe the disorganization of it right now. I need to get it to a state where it's organized, and I need to get it in a place where it's showable. But I will do it, I promise, one day. Anyway, point is, in my collection, I've got kind of a wide-ranging spectrum. I've got stuff I'm really proud of. One of my favorite pieces is this DwayneDwyer Custom. This is worth quite a bit of money. You know, this is one of my most expensive knives. This is just shy of a $1,000 piece right here. Love this knife to death. It barely sees the light of day, though. It spends all of its time in the collection drawer, just hanging out. On the other end of the spectrum, this guy right here, $2.99. Picked it up for $2.99. Yeah, nothing special about it. And it also doesn't see the light of day because I don't have a lot of reason to carry it with a lot of the other knives I have. It just sits around. But I've got stuff, you know, all in the middle. I've got this little $77.99 Kershaw that I did a little review on before. Great knife. Comes out every once in a while. Not really, you know. And, you know, anywhere in between that, I've got all sorts of stuff. So constantly adding things or trading things or removing things, selling things, whatever. If I was going to narrow it down to what really got me into collecting, it would have to be a combination of two different knives. It would have to be the Benchmade 550 Griptilian. Notice it's the old style Griptilian, the oval thumb hole, and the 440C blade. Okay, this one, yes, this one just sits in the collection. This is like a nostalgia piece for me because when I first started, this was the Griptilian I got. Had OD scales, but anyway. And the 912 Nitrous Stryker, and this is the actual knife. Look at the use and love on this thing. This actually was issued to me for a deployment and went through an entire rotation in Iraq with me. This one is beat the hell up. So this started to get me into kind of a love for Benchmades. This was the first Benchmade, not this particular knife, because that knife got lost one day, and I've had several Griptilians as I lost them or broke them or they got stolen or whatever. Griptilian's a tough knife, but I have a way of breaking the tips off using them inappropriately and improperly. But the Griptilian was the first real knife I bought for myself. Real brand, like actual good knife I bought for myself. Because it was lent to me by one of my military army instructors way back when in medic school, when he caught me with a crappy M-Tech or TAC Force type knife and said, "This starts your knife education. That is a piece of crap. here's a knife you can use, and started schooling me a little bit until I bought one for myself. And I ended up just, you know, taking his lesson and said, look, I'm just going to buy the one he lent me. And he lent me a Griptilian. And I love the Griptilian. There are much better knives out there. I have much better knives, but this will always have a special place in my heart. But really, I got this because, you know, this is what my instructor showed me. And you know, the Griptilian is great. I love the 550. The blade shape is awesome. I actually like the styling of the oval hole better than the newer round hole, and it's kind of cool just to see the old one with the 440C blade. The new ones, you know, standard come in 154 cm, and then like the special limited edition ones have better steel than that. But this is kind of this is my first Benchmade experience, and this is a lower end Benchmade too. Now, in between this and this is just kind of a side note to the story. My father had bought me this 9050. And he was friends with a lot of Air Force Special Operations Command guys, and they all, at the time, carried these. A lot of the aircrew types. And as I was going to the Air Force, he got me one of these. And I've always liked the 9050, but, well, there's a reason they made the 9051, you know? There are ways to improve this. It always was a good knife. I didn't carry it for a lot of different stuff. It has a lock so that you can't accidentally shoot off that blade, but it just was not my favorite knife. Although it's still always, I mean, it's a very good knife. It's been issued very widely in the military. One of the ones that was also issued, like I said, and this was around the 2010 time frame for one of the deployments. We were issued two different knives. We got this and we got a fixed blade. It was I think a SOG or a Gerber fixed blade. I can't remember. I didn't carry it. But this, the Nitrous Stryker torsion spring assist, I loved this. Now this, before, you know, it was issued to me, was a straight up Tonto shape. You can see through my constant sharpening, that was one of my great stress reliefs on that deployment, was just sharpening. You can see how I rounded that edge over, just constantly sharpening it. Instead of going angle to angle, angle to angle, just going root. Yeah. Anyway, it was on that deployment that I really started to get into learning about knives. And, you know, you want to hear the whole story about it, watch that other video. But this is the knife that led me to knife collecting. As I started to really learn about, like, oh, D2 steel, what does that mean? As opposed to what was on the Griptilian, as opposed to what was on that other fixed blade knife they gave me, as opposed to what other people were carrying. G10, this has G10 handles. Oh, what does G10 mean? Oh wait, they're not handles, they're scales? What does scales mean? I really started to get into the learning about knives in that particular deployment in 2010, and started to really apply myself to understanding the differences. And that's when I said, wow, there's so many different features on so many knives. I want to own them all. I gotta get them all. They're like Pokemon. I have to have them all. And that's really what led me into looking at knives not as just a utility, not just a tool to carry around, and some happen to be fancier than others, but as little pieces of artwork, each one. You know, and some artwork is more based on the utility of the piece, and some, yeah, is based on the beauty of the piece, but all of them are a little bit different. And to say one knife is the same as any other knife is crazy talk as far as I'm concerned. So it is this knife, Patty. It is the Benchmade 912 that really started it all off for me. Now, I would not have had this 912. I would have had it because it was issued, but it might not have been my choice to carry on that deployment had it not been for the Benchmade legacy started by my medic school instructor, carried on by the gift from my father that got me kind of on the Benchmade lineage. This might not have been my choice to have in my pocket or hanging off my plate carrier, as it were, through all of that fun in the sun through that whole deployment. And, you know, if it wasn't for that, it probably would have been something else that got me going, but it just so happened that this was the one that really, I started taking it apart and looking at the mechanics, and I started really looking into other stuff. So the one single knife that more than anything brought me into the world of knife collecting and started to build that passion to understand how they work and what the materials are and everything is the Benchmade 912. That is what did it for me. Challenge accepted and completed, Patty. So again, check out Patty's channel. He's just an awesome dude. I would love to fly to Ireland. I want to use this as my excuse to visit Ireland one day. I'd love to fly to Ireland and do a video with Patty from Patty's Potato Peelers one day. I think that would be super awesome to do. So, you know, if you want to check out his channel, if you're not already familiar, look down in the video description and there'll be a link to his channel there. In the comments, feel free to share, you know, your story. Tell us what knife got you started. If you want to take it a step further, tell us how, why. That'd be cool. We can talk about them. Everybody takes a different path into the world of knife collecting. Some are fancier than others. There's no shame to say I got a dollar knife from the dollar store and that got me into wanting to get more, you know? I only had this one because it was issued to me. Who knows? But anyway, I'm going to take Potato for a walk on this wonderful, amazing, sunny, but cool day. Hope you guys do something fun and exciting as well. But as always, I appreciate every single one of you. You are all totally, awesomely, mega awesome. And I'll be back in real soon.